Hi, my name is Joanie Eisinger. Well, I am doing a video about the festival that I created and co-created. It is called MetaphysiFest. This is something that I never planned to do, just like I never planned to be a channel, a healer, a medium, an animal communicator, or a medical intuitive. So, background. Why did I come up with this very small, petite festival where we are now doing this for the second time in September? Well, I received the gifts. They started coming in the early 2000s, and in around the 2010s, I started participating as a vendor in expos and festivals. What this entails is where you give a vendor table fee to an organizer in order to have the privilege to offer your services and then receive monies as the exchange. And there's a concept called making table, which is where one needs to recoup the vendor table fee, and then after that, they make profit. Well, there's a bit of a concern that a vendor has regarding will they make table and how much profit they will receive. Now, for some of you, you might say, well, you're a light worker, therefore it's not about the money. And I would say as a response, I live in the same third dimensional world as all people who need money in order to pay the rent, etc. Therefore, this is my money exchange, and I need to put a price to the gifts that I have and the service that I offer, just the way other service providers do. So, organizers set up an event, whether it's small, medium, or large, and they create it. And then I believe over time it gets fine-tuned, and a lot of the initial pieces, like the contract that's set up between the organizer and the vendor, and the layout of the place and the fees and the deposit that gets given to the venue, etc. They get ironed out piece by piece over the years. So, fast forward. Through these years, I would have these discussions with other friends about my not enjoying offering money to an organizer where I am doing work and they are doing their business part and making money off of me. That's a third dimensional concept. It happens everywhere. Everywhere, someone's making profit off of someone. Maybe I'm a time traveler. Maybe I'm off planet. Whatever the case, I have this new earth vision, and I've been holding it for a while. What about creating an event where everyone co-creates from the ground up, and that they split the monies evenly, and then they give it to the venue? So I did some searching, and I found a venue in Gillette, New Jersey, the Long Hill Senior Center. And I asked questions, and I learned that in 5 hours, one would give X amount of money, and that would be the time allotted. There would be some setup time, some cleanup time tacked onto either end of the 5-hour period, and we'd go from there. I also thought, well, what about if there weren't competition, where there was no replication of service, whether it was a business promoted, a service offered, or products sold? Therefore, the patrons coming in wouldn't take a look and say, oh, I can't make up my mind. There are 5 of them. There are 10 of them. There are 100 of them. I can't decide. Also, what about the concept of, for those that are offering a service, practitioners, that there is no competition regarding the fee? So the established fee would be either 15 minutes or half hour for $45. What about that? No competition, where when a vendor is standing there smiling, the patron comes over and sees, I don't have to be concerned about this is more expensive because it's the same amount of money. I started doing my Pied Piper thing, asking very sweet and humble service to other friends, how they felt about joining me on this journey. And I created MetaphysiFest last September 2024. There were 9 of us, and it was a very high vibration, small, petite event. And the energy in the room was very high. I would say the light quotient exponentially was very, very high. There were over 50 people who came through the doors. I had lawn signs out along Valley Road, and we had a lot of fun. We felt very proud of our accomplishment. Now, even just to go back a little bit, this from the ground up, I submitted to my vendor friends a draft of the agreement form between them and me, and I asked them, how do you feel about this agreement form? I put out the specs of the way that I saw it, and I kept asking people how they felt about it. On my website, there's a MetaphysiFest page, and I had discussions with each vendor regarding their bio and their profile, and that they got to tailor it. They wrote it, or they didn't know what to write, so I interviewed them, and maybe I wrote it up and they edited, vice versa. Everyone had a voice, equal say. Here we are. It received trademark status as well. I got that download. MetaphysiFest trademarked that. And I just learned recently that it has a TM now after its name. It took about 6 months from the time that I submitted the paperwork to when I received it. I'm very, very proud. So we will be doing this, our second annual MetaphysiFest, on Sunday, September 28, 2025, from 12 to 5 p.m. at the Long Hill Senior Center in Gillette, New Jersey. Please go to my website and look at that MetaphysiFest page. Check out the people who are there. See the forms of payment that they receive. Not everyone takes credit cards. It's very important for you to bring cash with you. Very important. Some people only take cash. Okay. I will be sending this out in a MailChimp newsletter. And if you receive it and you are watching this video, I'd really appreciate your giving me feedback, whether it's in the video on YouTube and through MailChimp. Just press reply and it will go to my website, to my email. I'd really like to know whether you saw it on YouTube. Also, I made a Facebook event last year. Didn't get very far, which I find very interesting. There were only 40 people out of all of New Jersey that saw that event. So please check out the Facebook event and let me know whether you in fact saw it. And if you did, please press interested or going so I have an idea if people really are seeing it. I invited over 400 people, and I don't believe that anyone saw that because I don't think they even received the invites through Facebook. Okay. I'm so glad you got with me this far. Thank you for being on my journey. Thank you for supporting me. We're doing it again. And it's about a co-creation. It's a model. So if you, in fact, have been thinking about creating something small, check out the model that I just shared here and also in the description on my Facebook page before the vendors are described. Go for it. It's really neat to have a co-creation where it's egalitarian, there's no competition, it's easy. And that no one is competing, there's no better than, less than, no one's looking for dependencies and guru status and followers. It's showing up, loving what you do. And I think that's what I've been saying all along. I just show up. Make a good movie yourself. And I hope to see you there. Bye, y'all.